Welcome folks, welcome back to Magic the Gathering Arena. I'm Black Templar, and after a little break with the new set coming out, the Wilds, I figured it was a good chance to have a break, and the start of the new season, we'll be doing a pack opening. Now, I'm going to be honest guys, I have taken a longer break from Magic the Gathering for quite some time to build up money to get the new packs. And also, all my old decks are now useless, so I'm going to have to look what I can do, what I use. So there will be time where I'll have no standard for a bit until I can have a look at the cards, have a look at the deck, what needs to be done, what is needed. So, yeah. But I'll still do drafts and all that. It's just, as far as, standard goes, it might have to take a back seat for a little bit until we can get some new cards. Now, these cards here are no longer usable in Alchemy. And there's a reason for that, because apparently because of the new set and Lord of the Rings, which I actually despise. I'll explain why as we go. So let's start out with the Crimson Vow, shall we? Now these cards I got from drafts. Ooh, a double version, nice. I needed something better. Ooh, you're new? Yeah, you're new. What do you do? Kaiser Wolffinder, Menace, 1 mana for 1/2. Exile 3 cards from your graveyard and create a wolf token. I'll be honest, not the greatest card, I'll be honest. Not the greatest. I mean, a 1/2 for 1 drop isn't bad, but its ability is not that great. Let's have a look. Skull Scab. So, Dimir deck. Exploit. Whenever creature you control exploits a non-token creature, create a black 2/2 zombie. 2 mana for a 2/2. It's always a solid pick. You can't argue that it's a solid pick. And its other ability, it's good if you got like a weak like zombie like you want to get rid of to make, like another zombie or something like that. Yeah, that's kind of thing. So what's this version? 2/2 on that one. What's the other one? Oh, it's for alchemy. That's what it is. It's an alchemy thing. So they're both the same, but one's for alchemy, one is for not. Alright. Human Warlock. Dawnheart Disciple. 2 mana for a 2/2, always good. Whenever another human enters the battlefield under your control. Yeah, this one is mainly for like if you got a human deck, like human knights, so that like if you're playing green white or green blue white, like a tri combo or something like that. That's not a bad card for a 2-drop. Wedding Invitation, 2 mana artifact. When Wedding Invitation enters the battlefield, draw a card. So far so good. 2 mana for 2 for a card. Sacrifice Invitation. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. If it's a vampire, it also gains the lifelink. Yet again, it's one of those cards where, yeah, it's good for vampire decks, but at the same time, it's like, do you really need it? I would say yes, to a degree, because like, an extra card never hurts, and also, the fact that you can give it lifelink, which can be handy. So, dismiss the cards. Alright. Oh. I mean, that was a uncommon. But it's these I want mostly. Anyway. Fearful Villager. Fearsome Werewolf. So, it's a one that changes. So, it's a 3 mana for a 2/3. Menace Dayborn. Now, I'm going to be honest, it's not too bad. It's a good little like free drop. But there are better cards out there. Chill of the Grave, 3 mana instant. This spell costs 1 less to cast if you control a zombie. So if you're playing a Dimir zombie deck, you gotta take this card. Tap target creature. It does not tap during its next turn and draw a card. So yeah, it's pretty much like if you play a zombie deck. Like say if you get a zombie on turn 1. And on turn 2, that card becomes usable. Or if you play another zombie, as long as you have a blue, you're going to be laughing. So, it's really good for a Dimir deck. District Geist. Also, Distracted Geist. Whenever Distracted Geist attacks, tap target creature defended player controls. Well, 3 mana, that's not too bad, but it has easy... Like, it can be easy picked off. And this has Disturbed to 5. Enchant creature. Whenever this creature attacks. So basically, it exiles creatures. That's fair enough. Not the greatest yet again. There are better cards out there. Scattered Thoughts. 4 mana. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put 2 of these cards into your hand. The rest in your graveyard. Yet again, another card where I could see there is some usage in certain decks, but not really a good card. There are better ones out there. Unholy Officiant. Now, 1 mana for 1/2 is not bad. That's good defense and attack. And Vigilance, put 1 count on. Yep, so basically, he is a mana drain. If you can get to like 5 mana and you got spare mana, you could buff him. But early game wall, like protection, it's not too bad. But it's one you're going to have to pump a lot of effort into him. Morvogg's Retribution. So it's a 3 mana. Choose one above. Creatures you control gets +1/+0 until the end of turn, or target vampire you control deals damage equal to its power to another target creature. So this is like Feral Bite, but it's a red version and it's specific for vampires. So I could see its usage if you're going to say like you want a quick buff, but you also want to use it to assassinate a creature. So there is potential. I mean, but yet again, there's like better burn spells out there. But I could see this being used as a cheap budget burn, or someone say, right, I want to save my burns for something else, but I could use this kind of thing, like a 2-for-1 deal. Blood Vial Purveyor. So this is a 4 mana 5/6. Now that is powerful. Flying Trample, even better. When an opponent casts a spell, that player creates a blood token. Whenever it attacks, it gets +1 to each blood token. So basically, if you're playing a blood token deck, until the end of turn for each blood token defending player control. So basically, it only works if person has the opponents have blood token. But a 4 mana 5/6 Flying Trample is nothing to scoff at. That is a powerful card. I could see a lot of people use this card before the rotation. It's not a bad card. Wow, we're getting a lot of new cards, guys. Siphon Essence. Counters target creature, planeswalker, spell, and creates a blood token. So a counter spell. But it's better ones out there, I'm afraid. Toxic Scorpion, Depth Touch, 2. Yeah, when the battlefield no target or creature you control gets Depth Touch. To be honest, it's one of those like you want to have a free punch, you do that, but not good. I mean, don't get me wrong, a 1/1 Depth Touch is good, but 9 out of 10 you're gonna sack a creature that's not worth squat, like it's done its job. Or you might have a way to say, yeah, I'm just gonna bounce you, or just get rid of you, sling you. Edgar's Awakening. Sorcery. 5 mana. Now this is a bit expensive. Return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. Whenever you discard Edgar's Awakening, you may pay 1. When you do, return target creature. So basically, if you've got some way to discard it, it's better, but normal, kind of a bad thing. I would say if you can find a way to get the ability to get rid of the card, be worth it. Desperate Farmer. Lifelink. 3 mana for 2/2 of Lifelink ain't bad. And it looks like its other ability, which is like a moon shape, so it's like, and all that. Lifelink for free lifelink. So I like the moon ability for 3 mana. It's not a bad ability, and I can see some usage in it. If it was 1 mana cheaper, it would be brilliant. But 3 mana is a bit of a push, but it can be used. Catgeist. So Mischievous Catgeist. So 2 mana. Whenever Mischievous Catgeist deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Disturbed. Enchanted creature has whenever it deals damage, draw a card. Well, I'm going to be honest. It's not bad, actually. It's a good card because for 2 mana, you want it to die. I mean, even if you get a hit and get a card, you want it to die and put this enchantment on a better creature. So I can see using that, and it's got alchemy cards. So basically, it's for like if you want to use an alchemy. Oh, but there's a difference. Is there a difference? Oh, there is. Let's look at the difference. Enchanted gets +1/+1 and has whenever. So basically, the alchemy version gives you a power boost. So okay, so the alchemy one gives you a power boost. Gruff Reaver. 2 mana for a 3/3. Oh my. Whenever Gruff Reaver exploits a creature, destroy target planeswalker. At the beginning of your upkeep, Gruff Reaver deals 1 damage to you. There's your catch. So yeah, it's not bad. I mean, 2 mana for free, and if you exploit it, it will kill a planeswalker. So if you got an annoying planeswalker that's just popped up, it's like, yeah, I'm playing this. Boom, yeah, I'm taking damage, but I'll find a way to get rid of him easy by like sacking him or throwing him to the wolves. Say, right, yeah, block him. So yeah, it has potential, but it would need a lot of things to go its way. Oh, something. It's red, mythic. So, first off, Nurturing Presence. Enchant creature. Enchant creature whenever it enters the battlefield under your... Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, this creature gets +1/+1 in a turn. So basically, when this gets in, you get a flyer, but also when another creature comes in, it gets powerful, so it's strengthening. For 2 mana, not bad. Flourishing Hunter, 6 mana for 6/6. When it enters the battlefield, you gain life equal to the greatest toughness among other creatures. So basically, if you're playing a blue, like a large, like big blue, like big green stonker deck, it will probably be worthwhile having like late game. But I would say this is better for sealed than anything else. Cobblelands. Okay, 1 blue for 3/3 sounds extraordinarily powerful, but as an additional cost to cast a spell, exile a creature card from your graveyard. Right, this is obscenely powerful. It's just, you just gotta find a way to find a creature, put a creature in the graveyard on turn 1, which that's impossible. But the fact that you could say, right, I'll put like, say you're doing blue-black, you put a zombie in, you have to jump die, he comes in, okay, for a 2 mana, essentially, for 3/3, like, give it a crappy creature, it can be powerful. And its Cobblelands ability. The difference is the cast in the Alchemy version. It's 2 mana when to exile Cobblelands from your graveyard to draw a card. This one is for, yeah, I see what it is. This is pretty much a Alchemy card. Respiratory Scab, 4 mana for a 3/3. Exploit whenever this scab exploits a creature, return target into a sorcery card from your graveyard. Now this is a good card. For 4 mana for 3/3 may not be the best thing, but its exploitability is good. Because one, let's say you're gonna face someone you know is gonna cast a big like spell. You pick up another counter spell. Says, right, I dare you to use your best spell because I've got something to do with that. Then the mythic is, oh, one of them. Good, could use one of them. And that's the end of that deck. We've got a long way to go, and that's some gold packs as well to open. So let's get to it. That's that gone. Flourishing Vine Wall. So a 2 mana for 0/2 defender, and as a battlefield, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a land card from among them and put them in your hand. Put in your hand. Put the rest of the bottom of your library in any order. So mana ramp. Basically, if you're low on mana. Impulse. 2 mana. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand. The rest of the bottom of your library in any order. You remember when I said earlier about the 1, the 4 mana one? This is what I'm referring to. There are better spells like this about. Shieldwall Sentinel. 4 mana. Defender. 3/1. And as battlefield, you may search your library for a creature card with Defender. Yeah, so this is a defense deck. So basically, you put this down, you look for another defender, and you play it. It's like, yeah, not that great. Angelic Archangels of Wrath. Ooh, 4 mana for a 3/4. Kicker black, kicker red. So this is going to fly and lifelink. Not too bad. When Archangel of Wrath enters the battlefield, if its kicker, deal 2 damage to any target on the battlefield. So basically, if you put it with red, white, or black, white, it's going to do something. But if you put it in a white, black, red deck and kicker it twice, it's going to damage a lot of things. Now, there is a caveat to this, though. Its cost. That means if you're going to use the kicker, it's either 5 or 6 mana. So, yeah, that's a problem. You're going to have a deck revolved around her. Or her to be a late game, like, sweep. Sweep some creatures. So, yeah, not the greatest. Alright. Soaring Drake. 3 mana for 2/3. They're better. I'll be honest, they're better. Okay, you're one of the silver ones. Bodrick Bonerat. Okay, so we got a Troll Shaman, 5 mana for 6 mana for 4/4. It's legendary, but why are you legendary? Dominion. Whenever Bodrick enters the battlefield, if you've casted it, choose a target creature card in your graveyard, return that card to the battlefield if its mana value is less or equal the number of basic land types among that you control. Otherwise, put in your hand. So basically, you can either get a card back in your hand, or you can play it if you've got different land types, basic land types, huh? So it is a very land-centric card. You got to be like a specific way to do it. Splatter Goblin, poor Buckets looks like he's going for a bad ride. So 2 mana for 2/1, okay, dies target creature. So basically, he's like an assassin goblin. It's like saying, yeah, he's going to die, but he's going to take someone with him. Or cripple someone for a spell. Broken Wings. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature flying. So it's your standard green affair. Razorclaw. I've been looking for you for a long time. So, do you remember when I said I was looking for certain cards to do certain decks? Well, he was one of them. But now, because of the new set, it might not be viable anymore. But I will have to look at that at a later date. Anyhow, Reverse of the Claw, Menace. Add 2 mana, any combination of colors, spread this mana, only casts dragon creature spells. So this is what it was made for. It was for a dragon deck. From your graveyard. Ooh. During once each of your turns, you may cast a dragon creature spell from your graveyard. Whenever you cast a dragon creature spell from your graveyard, it gains whenever this creature dies, exile it. He was one of the cards I've been looking for a while. So that's the end of that one. Let's move on to the brothers. Right. Mizari Research Desk. 1 mana. So basically, 1 mana, sacrifice your deck, exile 2 top cards in your library, choose one of them until the end of your turn. Yeah, I don't know if, to be honest, not great. Unless you have a late game with red, but nah. Pyrrhic Blasts. So this is 4 mana. In addition to casting cost of spell, sacrifice creature, Pyrrhic Blast deals equal to the sacrifice. Yeah, there are better cards, guys. Not worth it. And we've known you, so... Alright, so only you. Yeah, we've known you, so we can move on. Alright, 1 Phyrexian. All will be 1. Yeah, nothing new, but hey, more I get, the better. Ooh, 2 legendaries. 2 rares. Nice. Doomseeker Warrior. Doomsmirk Warrior. 4 mana for 4/3. Backup as well. Ooh, potential. And Trample. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player or battle, look at many cards from your top of your library. You may reveal a creature or land card among them and put the rest in your hand. Put the rest of the bomb in any order. So basically, you play that and become a, like, say, a 5/4 and just trample away and get some cards to control the deck. So it's got some potential, but it's going to require a little bit of work to work it. Alright, so apparently we've seen you before, so we'll move on. March of the Machine is the... Alright, got a gold and an uncommon. Oh. Imra Lurker of the Loch. Alright. So I think I record these are for, like, historical play. But anyhow, legendary creature, Merfolk Wizard. This spell costs 1 less for each artifact you control. So basically, if you're playing a artifact deck, which I'm assuming Mizzet or Izzet, I think it's Izzet that does the deck artifact. I can't remember. Mill 4 cards. Choose an artifact card in your graveyard. You may cast it this card this turn. Okay, so basically, it's basically if you've got an artifact you've lost, you can bring it back. Okay. Alright. So, nothing there. Right. Now, I'm going to be honest about Lord of the Rings. I've really despised this thing during the summer because while I was doing test decks, these showed up and just muck up the test. Because the reason I use alchemy like format is to test decks to see what works, what doesn't. And these cards have really made it. Now, you can't play this in any format but alchemy, which to me is a pain. But I'll still open them and see what they are like, because I've had my fair share of dealing with half of this. Breaking of the Fellowship, which was, talk deals down and all that. Steward of Onza. 4 mana, so 5 mana for 4/3. I mean, if you can get the second ring Temptation on it, it is powerful, but it takes a while. I mean, this one is a good one. Like, target creature your opponent controls deals that equal to the power of another target creature. It was good for red, but excuse me a minute. Sorry about that. I had me throat clogged there. It's not bad, but it's like Wildfang. That's what it is. Grimmer Wormtail, Wungtung will remember you. 3 mana for a 4/1. Your opponent can't gain life. I mean, that is a powerful ability. Your opponent can't gain life. Sacrifice another creature. Target player loses 1 life. Then if sacrifice, allegedly amass 2 orcs. So basically, it just stops life gain, which I know a lot of life decks hate it, but the problem is I don't see him in the decks. I don't see him. He's not that good. Protective Gondor, 4 mana. If you're doing a Gondor deck, you'll be doing that. Hold on a sec, guys. My apologies on that. I've seen him on and off in Gondor decks, but he's not that good, to be honest. I mean, a 4 mana for a 3/3, and you get a token, but not that great. Mirroring Guard, 3 mana for 4/2, which is not bad when he dies. I mean, I have not seen this one, which has surprised me, because this is a good card. I mean, 3 mana for a 4/2. Yeah, he's got a weak backside, but 9 and 10, you want for the ring temp, and pretty much a chump blocker or a wall. Slip on the ring, 2 mana. Exile target creature you own, then return to the battlefield under your control and the ring temptation. So, it's a good, like, get out of jail card if you want to keep protecting your creature. Prince Image of the Fae. I've seen him a lot, and he's been a pain. Whenever you draw your second card, each turn create human. I see him in certain decks where he's just a pain in the ass to deal with. And the scroll is a door. I've not seen this one, to be honest. Gain control of up to 1 target artifact as long as you control the scroll is up and you have ring tempt. Tap 2 target creatures and put a stun counter each of them. Draw a card for each. Yeah, this is not a bad thing, but I think because it requires you to have an artifact to make it work. But, yeah, it's kind of a, I would say you want the second and the third ability, but not the top one. Okay, next one. We'll get to new cards eventually. Rise of the Witch King. Now, I've absolutely hated these buggers in them. And over this fighting, I mean, 4 mana, each player sacrifices a creature. If you sacrifice a creature this way, you may return another permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Yeah, it's not the greatest card, but it can be a pain. Bombardier Song. Okay. So, Bombardier's Song. So, it's a 2 mana. Target is +1/+1. Gain hexproof. So, basically, I have seen this card a few times. It's a good, like, little, like, buff / hexproof to avoid death. But you want the ring temp. That's what you want. Deceive the Messenger. -3. Yeah, I've seen this one as well. Mass Orc. This is just to, like, to have a turn where you can get a creature in. Ends Fury. 1. Put +1/+1 on a target creature you control. If it's power 4 or greater, then that creature gains +1 until the end of turn. And fights target creature you don't control. So basically, if you're playing big stonking monsters, you use this card. This guy has been a big pain in my ass during the with the summer of all this. He was a big pain in my ass. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, like food tokens, this was the biggest pain in my ass as well. The whole life gain says, oh, I'm going to gain a crap ton of life in this. Not much you could do about it. I absolutely hated it over the summer with that. Samwise Gamgee. Yes, you. I remember you. You were just as bad, if not worse. When another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, create a food token. Yeah. He was a pain in the ass to deal with during the summer. Nazgul. Whenever I see Black in Alchemy, it never fails. Nazgul shows up. He always shows up. One of the most biggest pain in my ass cards I've ever seen. The fact he's got Death Touch, and every time the ring tempts you, you get +1/+1, and you can have the 9 of them in the card. That's how broken he is. He is such a broken card. It's unreal. How the hell this got through? And you're allowed 9 attack. This is why I hated this during the Alchemy. I absolutely hated it. It's like, you know, I was sick of seeing them. And this is why I don't like the ring. These kind of sets. It's like, yeah, you serve no purpose for standard. I mean, yes, you're a fun card. Make a format say, right, all fun decks go there. Alchemy was supposed to be like a test bed. Nimble Hobbit. +1, like, Nimble Hobbit attacks. You may sacrifice a food or pay 2. What you do to opponent. Yeah, it was a bit of a pain in the ass with food thing. Smite of the Deathless, which is pretty much, you know, the battle of, you know, the final battle. So, my Devil deals 3 damage to a target creature that loses indestructibility until in a turn. If that card would be died this way, exile it. So basically, it wasn't a bad card, but yeah, again, I hardly ever saw it. Soothing of Smeagol. 2 mana. Return target non-token creature to its owner's hand and tempt the ring. That's what it was only for ring temp. The Bap Song. Draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Shuffle any number of target cards from your graveyard into your library, adding. So it wasn't a bad card, that one, but it was just took a while to get there. But Vial of Gladriel, 3 mana, legendary artifact. If you would draw a card while you have no cards in hand, draw 2 cards instead. If you would gain life while you have 5 or less, you gain twice that much life instead. So basically, it was like a get out of jail card where if you're in a bad way. But to be honest, I rarely saw it. Rare. It's one of those cards where it needs to have specific conditions to make it effective. I mean, the only good thing these things are doing for me is getting this up. Banish Eldros. 4 mana. This spell costs 2 less to cast if it targets a tapped creature. Exile target creature. Yeah, it was removal. Not the greatest, but did what it had to do. Captain of Umbra, which is a 2 mana for, say 3 mana for a 2/3 and draw a card, discard a card. Yeah, I rarely saw that in play, I'll be honest. It's not a bad card, but I rarely saw it. Willow Wind, yeah, it's not a good card, guys. For 5 mana for a 4/3 with flying, there are better cards. I mean, the Scry is not a bad thing, but there are better cards. Sting of Glinted Dagger. So this is, you know, Frodo's weapon. Equip this, get +1/+1, and it has haste. At the beginning of each combat, untap equipped creature. Equipped creature has first strike as long as it's blocking or being blocked by orcs and goblins. So basically, if you're faced against orcs and goblins, you play that, it says, right, I'm going to be doing good against you. And finally, the Mordor Trebuchet Defender. I've seen only this once. Whenever you attack with one or more goblin or orcs creatures, create a 2/1 colorless construct artifact creature token with the name Flying Ballistic Boulder. So basically, guys, it was designed if you were playing like orcs and goblins. It's not the greatest, to be honest. There are better cards. But I get another one of these now. on the mythic side now. Treason of Isengard. 3 mana. Put one target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to the top of your library. Amass 2 orcs. It's not a bad card. I mean, you could play this and go, right, I'll play this, get like another spell, and you get another card like that, play that back. You could do like a ridiculous cycle, but it was rare because you had to get 2 in your hand to begin with. You cannot pass. Destroy target creature that blocks or was blocking by a legendary creature this turn. So this was pretty much a legend killer. It's like if you face anyone got legendary, you just kill them with it. Orpheus Hunt, yeah, this was a trash card. I mean, 6 mana for 6/4 tremor. Whenever attacks a creature you control, you gain +2, gain chance in a turn. 9/10, you would only bring it for the mountain cycle just to get mana, but yeah, it wasn't good. It was a trash card. Shire Scarecrow. Add 1 mana color of any active only once each turn. To be honest, you're paying for a color you don't want for a new color. And for free 0 defender, it's not too bad, but nah, not worth it. Now this I have seen a lot. Rangers Firebrand. I've seen this a lot. 2 damage and a tempering. Yeah, I've seen this card a lot. 1 ring to rule them all. This is a card I've only seen once, which is the ring tempts you. Each player mills card equal to your ring bearer's power. So yeah, it's a bit of a mill card, so you gotta be careful with that. Destroy all non-legendary creatures, and each opponent loses 1 life for each creature card that plays graveyard. So yeah, it has potential, guys. It is a good card, and I've only seen it once for some bizarre reason. I've not seen it more often. I don't know because it's hard to get a hold of or the conditions it requires, but it's a not bad card, I'll be honest. I've seen you that many times. I hate this one, guys. It's like Claim My Precious. If you're doing black in Alchemy with this card is always a must, which is like 3 mana, destroy target creature, and tempt your ring. Pain in the ass. Gimli's Axe. Yet another one I don't normally see. This is mostly for legends. If you got a legend, you're gonna be using it, but I rarely see this one. Reprieve. Yeah, I return target spell to its owner's hand. Yeah, I've seen this multiple times. It's an annoying card, but it's a decent one. Hobbit Sting. Hobbit Sting deals X damage to target creature where X is the number of creatures you control plus the number of food total. This was like in the green-white like food decks. You played this. It was just so annoying to deal with. Fire of Okra, which is 3 mana, destroy target artifact or land. Creatures without flying cannot block this turn. It was good if you could find a way to get rid of certain artifacts of land, but the cost was a bit too much. Shortcut to Mushroom. So 2 mana is enchantment. When Shortcut Mushroom enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you at the beginning of your end step. If your permanent controls you control left the battlefield this turn, put a 1 counter on the target creature you control. So basically, it requires you to sacrifice creatures to make it work. So yeah. And this one, Call of the Ring. I remember you. At the beginning of your upkeep, ring tempts you. Whenever you choose a creature is your ring bearer, you may pay 2 life. If you do, yeah, this was another pain in the butt kind of thing. It wasn't too bad because it had a cost, but it was a bit of a pain in the butt. Intus Restoration, 3 mana, instant, sacrifice a land, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. I am sorry, guys. Something is wrong with me today. I've been having like dry coughs as of late. Hey, back to what I was saying. If you control your power for greater, instead of you searching for up to search for free lands, put them into the battlefield. So basically, guys, if you've got like a big stone creature for 3 mana, it's not bad. It gives you like a mana like ramp. That's what it does. It's just mana ramp. Cool Unger Patrol. 4 mana for a 4/5. Sacrifice another creature. Draw a card. And then create food token. Yeah, we know who the food that belongs to. Let me be honest, not a good card. It's pretty bad. Because of the cost. And what you need to do as well. Lambus. This is an artifact food card. When Lambus is in the battlefield, scry 1 and draw a card. Sacrifice Lambus, you gain 3 life. When Lambus is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, its owner shovels it into its library. So basically, it's like a constant life gain card. Not a pain in the ass card. Shower of Arrows, destroy target. Enchantment, artifact or creature flying. Yeah, they're better ones though, to be honest. This is just the alchemy version. March from the Black Gate, 2 mana, enchantment. Now this is another one I've seen a lot where, you know, enter the battlefield. Whenever army you control attacks, you know, mass and orcs. It's basically a pain in the ass card. You just keep flying in with Nazgul and all that and just get orcs. Yeah, we've seen you before. Which is basically, you know, Eldron the Master. I know we got a long way to go, guys, but we are starting now to limit a bit. Leon's Reveal, 3 mana, draw 3 cards, land cycle. Yeah, they're better cards. Plain and simple, they're better cards. Nasty End. For 2 mana, at the additional cost, sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards. If the sacrificed creature was a legendary, draw 3 cards. To be honest, it's a bad card. It's only good if you got like lots of little like tokens or weenies that you want to get rid of to get a new some new cards. Not the greatest. Ogre Air Crusher, 4 mana for 4/4. Trample cannot be blocked unless you control an orc and goblin. So if you're playing orcs and goblins, you're gonna use him. I mean, for 4 mana, it's not too bad, but yeah, he's only good if you're gonna have orcs and goblins. Eldron, Lord of Riverdale, 3 mana. Now, this is not a bad thing. 3 mana for a 3/2 whenever it enters the battlefield. Another creature enters the battlefield. Okay. Or you control scry 1. If this is the second time this ability has resolved, the ring tempts you. So basically, if you like bomb a few creatures, he's gonna get the ring temp thing. So he's okay, but you're gonna have to do a lot of work around him. The Mines of Moria. So this is where our favorite dragon lived. Mines of Moria. Enter the battlefield tapped unless you control a legendary creature. Add 1 red or pay 4. Exile the top 3 cards of from your graveyard and create 2 treasure tokens. Yeah, it's an okay land, but not one I see normally. Oh, a mythic. Inherit Envelope. So 3 mana, when Inherit enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. So basically, it's a ring temp with added mana. Not worth it. They're better. War Beast of Golgotha. When a War Beast or no creature control with power 4 or greater dies, amass 2 orcs. Yeah, for 4/5 it might not be bad, but I would say you have to make a red-green deck for that to work, because that's the only way you're going to get high-level creatures. Troll of Khazad-dûm. Trash card. 6 mana when it can't be blocked except by 3 creatures. I mean, it's not bad in that sense, but the 6 mana, by that point, you're either at the end of the game or you are in big trouble. And the Swamp Cycle, yeah, it's good in one way, but it's also kind of worthless. Ring Sight. 3 mana. The ring tempts you. Search your library for a card that shares a color with a legendary creature you control. Revealing, put in your hand. So basically, guys, you need a cheap legendary to make this work. So some of these cards require legendaries, and this. You. Right, guys. This card has been the bane of many, many decks. There's a combo going on, right? For those who may or may not know, if you use this card with another card, which I'll show you. Actually, I'll show you right now. But yes, the ring thing, it makes you indestructible, means you can't be attacked. I mean, yes, you lose a 1 life per upkeep for each burn counter, but there is a combo there. So if you excuse me, we're gonna go back to a little bit here. So if we go to edit deck. Where are you? Not you. Ah, there we are. If you could combine this with Sheldon, it's absolutely broken. Excuse me. I'm not joking. The ring plus that in a black deck. The second you see a black deck, expect a ring in this combo. Because this combo just... You play that, play the ring and the burden, you're gaining a crap ton of life. I absolutely despised that build. It was like, I had to kill the ring bearer fast because you can't kill... Sorry, Sheldon fast because you can't kill the ring because the ring is indestructible. Pain in the ass. Oh, another mythic. Shelber's Ambush. Arachnophant. Target creature gets +1 and gains Death Touch until the end of turn. So it's really a good like just get a token but also it's good. This was a good card to like surprise attack. Say, oh, I'm gonna just get Death Touch and kill you. Rush the Room. 1 mana, instant. Target creature gets +1 and gains first strike. Yeah. Also gains haste. If it's a goblin or orc, gains haste. It's basically similar to another card I know. So basically, there are other cards like it. It's just this one, if you put it with a goblin, it makes it faster. Haunt of the Dead Marsh. 1 mana for 1/1. So it's a Nightmare Elf. When Haunt of the Dead Marsh enters the battlefield, scry you to the battlefield, tapped, active only control legendary creature. So it's a good 1/1 like chump blocker, but that and the scry, but that's it. I wouldn't bother with it, to be honest. Revive the Shire. 2 mana. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand and create a food token. I have seen this card a few times, and yes, it's pain in the ass when it's like on the food deck. Oath of the Great Host. You and your target opponent each create a food token. Each opponent loses 3 life and creates a treasure token. Create 3 tapped white spirit tokens. It's not very good, to be honest, guys. Why would you want to give them tokens to help them? You wouldn't. Storm of Saruman. So this is 6 mana. Enchantment ward free, so it means it's very hard to get rid of. Whenever you cast a second spell, each turn copy it, except the copy isn't legendary. You may choose a new target for its copy. So I don't see this one actually at all, because that is a very expensive card. And by the time you reach 6 mana, you're either already about to finish the game or you're in trouble. Alright, get my mythic on that one. Thank you. So I got 15 rares, 5 mythics. So I'm getting there. Big N Porter. 4 mana for 4/4, so it's straight trade. Whenever Big N Porter attacks, it gains +X in a turn where X is the number of legendary creatures. So basically, if you've got legendary creatures, he's going to be good, but getting legendary creatures, for him to work is a very hard task. Corrupted Sheriff, which I've seen a few of them for a while, like in white-black versions of the deck, of all of them in there. Whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, use alive and create treasure tokens. It was like a thing. In night 10, you would go for him first just to get it off so you can cast multiple spells. Alright, we're starting now to lose these cards now. Gandalf, Friend of the Shire. 4 mana for 2/4. It's got flash, so you can put him at the end of a turn. You may cast sorcery spells as though they had flash, which is kind of handy. Whenever the ring tempts you, if you choose other than Gandalf of the Shire, your ring bearer will draw a card. So it's kind of like manipulation. Pilgrim Survivor. 2 mana for 1/3. It's not always bad. That's a good wall. Add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast it as a sorceries. Talk player me. Yeah, it is a money. It's a mana sink, but at the same time, a 3/1 defender is nothing to scoff at. Cast into the fire. Choose. It's a 2 mana, which is either deal 1 damage to each up to 2 target creatures or exile target artifact. It's not the greatest card, I'll be honest, guys. Wolves Pathfinder. 2 mana. 1/1. Add mana. Another time. Yeah, not that great. It's a pretty jank card. Book of Masbro. Masbro? Is that the orc one? Draw one. Ah, yes, remember this now. It's an Orc Mass, guys. You go Mass Orc, then a pain in the ass card, but Moray Marauder. So it's a 2 mana, double strike. Whenever a Goblin Orc you control deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card. Play that card this turn. And to be honest, not a fan of this card, to be honest. It's one of those cards where it's like, yeah, nay kind of thing. You gotta know how to work it. I know it's been a while doing this, guys, but we've got a lot of cards to go through. Friendly Rivalry. So it's basically, it's supposed to take the piss out of Legolas and Gimli. Target creature you control, the target creature you control, and up to one other target legendary creature you control, each deals damage equal to their power to a target creature they don't control. So like Feral Bite, but you need legendary to make it work properly. Quarrel's End. For 3 mana, in additional cost, discard a card. Yeah. Draw 2 cards and create a white human soldier. Yeah, 9 out of 10 you wouldn't want to do that unless you've got really bad cards in hand, or you've got cards that like can be returned. Roaring Lancer. Menace, when it dies, ring temps you. So basically, it's a good 1/1 drop to get a quick ring temp. Goth Mongol's Lieutenant. Whenever Goth Mongol Lieutenant enters the battlefield, amass 1 or creature tokens you control have Death Touch. So basically, it turns the Orc tokens into pretty much a nasty beast. I mean, for 4 mana for 3/3, yeah, it's kind of a little bit on the expensive side, but if you're doing an Orc Mass deck, you gotta take him. You gotta take him. Erwin, Fearless Knight. 4 mana for 3/4 haste. Whenever it enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls with greater power. Legendary creature you control gains protection from each. So basically, guys, I've seen this card a few times. If you're playing lots of legendaries and you play her, she's just going to make things a bit of a headache. But she does need a lot of prep work to make her work. And finally, Milkwood Spider, Death Touch, 1/1 mana. What more do you say? Tax that target creature you control. It gives legendaries. It's what does he say? It's a 1/1 Death Touch like Scorpion. Thank you. L1 Lady of Rohan. 3 mana for 2/4. At the beginning of combat, your turn, target creature gain first choice strength. Basically, you play her and just buff the others up. That's all she does. It's not a bad card, actually. It's pretty good. But she is a bit of a pain to get rid of because of her 4 backside. You really need a Pacific Burn spell or Pacific Death spell to get rid of her. Eren Rider of Gondor. 3 mana for 3/2. When Eren enters the battlefield, draw a card. If you don't control a legendary creature, put a card from your hand to the bottom of your library. So, most of these require you to have a legend to work with. Battle Scared Goblin. 2 mana for 2/2, always good. Becomes blocked or deals 1 damage to each creature blocking it. So basically, it's like saying, oh, I've got 3 defense. Yeah, I'm going to make sure you die with me kind of thing. We know you. Soldiers of the Grey Host. 4 mana for a Flying Flash whenever it enters the battlefield. Target creature. Yeah, you have to require certain things to use it properly. It's not a good card. Pretty trash. Quick Beam Upset Ent, which is 6 mana for 5/6 with a Quick Beam or End or another tree folk enters the battlefield under your control. Up to 2 trees get +2. Yeah, it's not a great card. This requires you to play with lots of tree folk to use it, and its cost is expensive. Isolation at Ulfrak. 4 mana, put target creature into its owner's library. Second from the top. Yeah, it's a trash card. Escape from Ulfrak. Target creature gets +1 flight. It's not a bad card. That one's a good card. I do see it from time to time, but it's not a bad card. Illic Kingfisher. 3 mana for a 3/1. Dies, draw a card. Yeah, it's meh. You, however, this son of a bitch I've seen more times I care to count, and it's been the biggest pain in my backside. Whenever one of your halflings you control attacks, creates food tokens. Well, basically, you have a lot of halflings just bombing the field and just going boom, 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 boom. I've got a crap ton of life now. I can't be killed. It's a pain to deal with. It's one of the cards I usually kill on sight. Because as soon as I see it, yep, gone. Get out of here. Because I do not want to see your ugly mug. The Dwarven. Let me see. For 3 mana for free, whenever you cast a heroic spell, historic spell, create a treasure token. This ability triggers once each turn. So basically, guys, if you're playing heroic, this is where this card will be used. But not in Alchemy, very rarely. Black Breath. Yes, another one I remember. Creatures your opponent controls gets -1 to end of turn and ring temp. I've seen this a few times. Can be a pain. And here's another one that's been a pain in my ass throughout the summer with this, which is this bitch. Whenever Rosie Cotton of the South Lane enters the battlefield, create a food token. Whenever creature you create a food token, put a +1/+1 counter. Yeah. This is another creature person I always kill on sight. Because you combine her with that bloke, she just pops up like there's nobody's business. That's another one I always kill on sight. Oh, a rare card. Thank you. Ooh, a mythic. Many partings. Which this one is search your land for basic land reveal and put food token. I've seen this a few times. It's not a bad card actually. It's pretty good. Like you play green, play that, you get a free token, but if you combine it with the two we mentioned earlier, they really do make a nasty pair. Horses of Burundi. So this is 5 mana, return the 2 target creatures to the owner's hand, scry 1, ring tempts you. Not worth it, guys. It's a trash card. Brian Farmer. 3 mana for 1/1. Basically, if you want to make a cheap like get food tokens, not the greatest to be honest. I've seen this a lot in Orc decks. Draw a card and lose your life master Orc. I've seen this a lot. It's a good card if you're doing Orc decks. Fiery Inception. Whenever it enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, do 2 damage. Yeah, this one I've seen a bit of. It's very good if you're going to like play this and just bomb spells just to absolutely give your opponent a bad case of a hot foot. Oh, I needed that. Thank you. Another mythic. Mogo Knife Wound. So 2 mana, enchant creature, -3, and at the beginning of your keep, exile this creature unless you pay 2 life. So basically, it's just a cheap removal, saying, right, I see this big strong creature, I'm putting this down, right, it's either you pay 2 life or you get rid of it. So yeah, it is a good removal spell, but there are better ones. Gladrian Bull. 2 mana, flash. Whenever it enters the battlefield, attach it to a target creature you control. Untap that creature and gets +2 and has reach. It's not a bad one, but I rarely see it. Because, to be honest, they're better. Bilbo, the retired burglar. Oh yeah, I remember you. When Bilbo, retired burglar, enters or leaves the battlefield, the ring tempts you. Use combat damage to play with text token. I rarely see it, but it is a good card if you can get it out and not get it attacked or blocked for a couple of turns. And Took Reaper, it's just a 2/1 with to ring tempt you. Another card I rarely see. Shadow of the Enemy. Now this one, however, is 6 mana. Exile all creature cards from target player's graveyard. You may cast spells from among those cards as long as they remain exiled, and the mana of any type can be spent to cast them. This is an extreme late game where you're in a situation where say you got about 12 mana, you're in a deadlock, you play that, remove all the creatures out of the opponent's libraries, like remove all the creature cards from the library, and add extras to bolster your forces. So that's all that card does. Another mythic. Wow, I'm getting a lot of mythics here. Relentless Raw Hand. 4 mana for 4/3. Ring temp. Yeah, it's not very good. Gimli's Counter of kills. I remember the stories of that. 4 mana for 4/3 trample. Whenever you creature your opponent control dies, Gimli counter kill deals 1 damage to that creature's controller. So basically, every time he kills someone, he's gonna hurt the controller. 9/10, you're gonna probably ignore that. Fog of the Borrowed Downs. So this one's a 3 mana. It's an aura. Channel creature cannot attack or block. So basically, it's pacify. Better card there. Gandalf's Sanction. So this is a 3 mana, red, blue. Gandalf's Sanction deals X damage to target creature whenever X is the number of instants or sorcery cards in your graveyard. X is damage dealt to the controller. So basically, if you're playing like an Izmizid deck, boom, 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 like give it a lot of that, and you play that later, and you go bang, someone's getting it. It's got potential, but not great. Ah, the Flames of the West. So what do? So it's a 3 mana. Equipped creature gets plus 3/1. Not bad. Whenever equipped creature attack, create 2, tap White Spirits. Okay. If that creature is a legendary, instead create 2 of these tokens that are tapped and attacking. So basically, if it's legendary creatures, it's better. But if it's a normal creature, just tap creatures. I think if you notice that with Lord of the Rings, it requires you to have a lot of legendaries to make these work. And was gift 4 mana for this spell costs 1 less to cast if you control 2 or more legendaries creatures. Scrying through 2 cards. Yeah, it's not a great card. You need legendaries to make it work perfectly. But if you get to 4 mana and you're already at scrying drawing 2 cards, something's gone either wrong or you're in a situation where you need some backup. Uruk-hai Berserker, 3 mana for 3/2. As a battlefield, ring tempts you. If you're doing Orcs and Goblins, yeah, you're going to be picking that card up. Murder Swift Survivor, 4 mana for 3/3. Flight, when it deals combat damage to a player, exile up to 1 target creature you own and return to the battlefield under your control. So, I could see using that one, but yet again, I've rarely seen it, so. Ground Gatebreaker, I've seen you a couple of times, which is like a 4 mana for 5/5 with trample. Needs a crew. As long as it's your turn, you control an army, Grodd, or Gatebreaker. This artifact is a creature, so it requires cards to make it work. But if it gets going, it's a nasty card. And so on the Necromancer, which I've seen, we've got him, which is 5 mana, legendary creature, Avatar Horror, Menace. Whenever Necromancer attacks, exile a target creature card from your graveyard. Create a tapped attacking token with a copy of that card, except it's a 3/3 Black Wraith with Menace. At the beginning of your next step, exile that token unless someone is your ring bearer. So basically, if you're playing a ring deck, you put the ring on him, and it's just like you're making an absolute mass amount of horrors to deal with other people. He's one of those cards that's to kill on sight. Alright, we're starting now to cut down these cards now. The Doran Blade. So basically, it's a 2/1 for 2 mana. But if it's on a human, you need 1 mana to equip it or 3 for others. So basically, it's designed for humans only. The Mouth of Sauron. 5 mana. When someone enters the battlefield, target player mills 3 cards. Then it has X orcs, where X is the number of instant sorcery cards in that player's graveyard. Yet again, it's not a bad card late on if you want like a big stonker, but its cost is too much, guys, for what it does. Knight of Dol Amar. 4 mana for a 3/3. Whenever you draw your second card, each time put a plus counter. So basically, it requires you to have like draw cards to make it work properly. And we got Fugan the Tree Shepherd. Now this is 7 mana. 4/10, so this guy's got a ludicrous defense. Tree Folk you control have vigilance. Whenever one or more of your Tree Folk control attacks at twice that much green, you don't lose some green mana in your steps to face. So basically, this thing is a monster. However, this requires you to have ridiculous amount of mana ramp and a lot of Tree Folk. So yeah, this is for fun decks. I mean, if you played like Lord of the Rings Seal and you got this and you have a few Tree Folk, like people like this guy could be worth it, but yeah. Lost to Legend. Put a target non-historical permanent into its own hand library, four from the top. Yeah. Enlist Vanguard. Yeah, 9 out of 10 you'll see this in Orcs and Goblin decks because it'll be like, right, I'm going to play this. It's going to die, but I wanted to amass an Orc army. You again. Alright, we're starting now to remove these. That one done. Yep. So we're now moving along now. Alright, Ganesh Bash Insurgent. So it's a free mana for 1/1. Whenever the Insurgent enters the battlefield, amass 2 Orcs. When you do, until the end of the turn, gain control of a target non-legendary creature your opponent controls or power less or equal to the amount of mass Orc powered. Untap that creature and gains haste. To be honest, you do see it sometimes in Orcs and Goblin decks, but it's kind of one of those cards. It's like, do you or don't you kind of cards. So it's one of those meh. Dreadful as the Storm. Free mana instant. Target creature base power and top is 5/5 until the turn. The ring tempts you. Yeah, it's not bad actually, but it's a good like chump blocker to say, yeah, I'm going to be attacked. Boom. Someone's getting smacked. So it is a good like chump block card. Right. Equestria of the King. 1 mana for 1/1. Choose your control, get +1/+1. Cost 2 less to activate if you control a legendary creature. To be honest, bad card. And you, I've seen you multiple times. Witch King of Armouth. A 5 mana flying. Whenever one or more creatures deals damage to you, each opponent sacrifices a creature. So basically, it's a pain in the ass. Like, drops in and just does what he does best. Be a pain. And last but I say, Stew the Connie, which is 3 mana, target creature you control deals damage equal power. I've seen this a few times, but many people go for the food counter because like, yeah, I'll damage you and get a food in the bonus. Gift of Standards. So this is a 4 mana flash enchantment, so you can use it any time. When it enters the battlefield, battlefield, scry 2 and free. It's not a bad card, but unfortunately, I don't see that often. I rarely see it because it's cost. Enrage Hura. Treefolk. Trample. When enrage enters the battlefield, ring tempts you. 4 mana. Again, if you're doing a tree deck, yes. And mana ramp tree deck, yes. But yet again, its cost is ridiculous. Eastmark Cavalry. 2 mana for 2/2 is always good. Vision deals damage to an Orc or Goblin. Destroy that creature. So basically, you could use it as a chump blocker or something just to get rid of some Orcs and Goblins. Fear Fire Foes. So basically, this one's an interesting one. So it's red X. Damage cannot be prevented from this turn. Fear Fire X deals X damage to a target creature and deals 1 to each other creature of the same control. So basically, for example, you send your creatures out and they've bashed. And there's some guys who are still alive 1 life. Or someone's got like 3 and the others got 1. You play that, it's like a Wrath card. So it requires a bit of setup, but it is a nasty card. And Mount Doom. So red-black. You see this in red-black decks, but it's very rare. Great Hall Cathedral. Add 1, then add 2 mana of any combination of colors spent on only casting legendary spells. So basically, if you got legendaries, this is what you would take this. Side Trace, sacrifice, search for land, basic land. So it's basically like the wilds. And we got Glint Dagger. Alright, we're now moving along now, guys. So, 2 mana, create a treasure token, and mass orc. So basically, if you're doing an orc goblin, you're going to play that because a free treasure and orc mass has never hurt. Eagles of the North. Yeah. You playing Psycho, yes, that's good, but the cost is too much. Trash card. Okay, we've seen you. Alright. Alright, so we've got 19 rare, 6 mythics. Not bad, not bad. Alter Knots. So this is a 2 mana, type target creature, scry 1, draw a card. I've seen this card a couple of times. It's a good card, but kind of bit, like, the better ones out there. And you again. Ooh, a mythic. Jesus. Second breakfast. Up to 2 target creatures, each gets +1/+2 create food token. I've seen this a couple of times. It's a good card if you're doing that food deck. Bewitching Leechcraft. So it's a 2 mana enchantment. Bewitching enters the battlefield tapped. Tap enchanted creature. And enchanted creature has. If this creature would untap during your untap step, remove +1/+1 counters from it instead. If you do untap it. So basically, if you got like a very powerful creature, you throw this on an enemy creature and go, right. You're not untapping unless you want to weaken it. Birthday Escape. I've seen this one a lot. Draw a card, Ring Tempsy. It is a good card. You couldn't argue it. Pippin's Bravery, which is green. You may sacrifice a food. If you do, target creature +4 to the end of the turn. Otherwise, that creature gets... It's mainly in that food deck. You normally would see this. Improvised Club. So it's like a 2 mana, additional cost. It'll sacrifice a creature. Improved cost deals 4 damage to any target. So basically, if you've got like a lot of wieners, you just throw that out. It's an okay card. Gillen the Warlord. Cost 2 less as long as you have drawn 2 or more cards this turn. Yeah, that's never going to happen. You would need roughly, and I'm not joking guys, you would need at least 5 mana. Combo with that, and to get that out as cheaply. And other birds you control have vigilance. So basically, it's designed for birds. If you got a lot of birds, it's good, but nah, not good. And we have Zaron of Melee Colors, which ward discard an enchantment instant sorcery. So basically, you have to give it one of those cards. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, each opponent must mill 2 cards. When one or more cards you mill this way, exile target enchantment or sorcery or instant call equal or less mana value than that spell opponent's graveyard. Yeah, he requires a lot of work to get out, but he can be a pain, but he requires a lot of work. And 9 out of 10 usually gets killed on sight. The Torment of Golem. Sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-lock land card from it, and that play discards that card and mass 2 orcs. Rarely seen it. Not that great, to be honest. A Rally at Hornburg. 2 mana, create 2 white human soldiers. Create zones, and humans you control gains haste. So basically, if you're doing humans, that's the card you use. Dinthrone, Ruling Steward, Legendary Noble. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, put a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Sacrifice another creature. Each opponent loses 1 life. You gain 1 life. I mean, for 3 mana for 2/4 is not bad, but he does require a lot of things to go your way to use it fully. Stone of Eek. 1 mana. If a creature your opponent controls would die, exile instead. Sacrifice Stone of Eel, exile target player's graveyard, and draw a card. I've not seen this card at all, but it looks okay, but I think it requires a lot of, like, conditions. Ember Flamesmith. 2 mana for 2/2. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery, deals 1 damage to each opponent. So basically, you play the turn 2 and just use it for its extra damage. But it's probably another card that'll probably get killed on sight. Mushroom Watchdogs. 2 mana for 2/2. Always good. Sacrifice a food, put +1/+1 count on Mushroom Watchdog. It gains vigilance to the end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. So it's not a bad card. I have seen it in food decks, but it requires a lot for it to work properly. And we know you. And last but not least, Grey Haven, and his battlefield scry, add 1 color and, you know, cards in your legendary. So it's like a legendary. Surrounded by orcs, amass 3 orcs. Target player mills X cards with X the orcs' power. So yet again, if you're doing an orc deck with a tint of blue, you play this card. in Sauron's Remorse. Sorry, Ransom. Which is choose an opponent. Take a look at the top 4 cards of your library and separate into 2 face-down piles. And face-up piles. Put 1 pile into your hand, the other onto your graveyard. The ring tempts you. Yeah, it's kind of like a gamble. It's like, say for example, you got 2 lands and 2 good cards. You just switch, say, right, I want 1 each, and say, right, pick one. I'm going to get 1 card, but not the other. Wow, guys. That's been a lot. And this is where we're going to end the video here, guys, because this took a long time to get through all those cards. But do not worry. On the next episode, we will be doing another pack opening review, which we're going to be looking at the newest set, the Wilds of Enderin, and a few golden packs. But do not worry, we might have more as well. But anyway, folks, that's it for this video. If you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you on the next Magic Gathering Arena. We'll be continuing the pack openings, and hopefully by then I'll have an idea of what decks are workable or not, and the lay of the land. Anyhow, I'll catch you later.